Hi, my name is Michelle and I talk books, and today we are talking about another Jodi Picoult book, 19 Minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Her books leave me with so much to say. I get done with one of her books and I'm like, oh my gosh. This is now the third one. I could not be happier that I read it. I have to tell you, I was really kind of scared for this one. I thought, do I want to read about a school shooting? It's a tough topic, right? I was like, oh my God, she took this topic on. This book came out in 2008, in February of 2008, 12 years ago. It was a huge topic. Right now, our schools are barely in, and it seems so hysterical. Isn't it crazy how back then school shootings were something we seriously worried about? And now during pandemic and our schools being all kinds of different ways, it's not even anything we think about. It's crazy. If somebody would have told me that, had a little, crystal ball and said that you're not even going to be thinking about school shootings. I homeschooled my children. Some of them did go to high school. I have 6 children. They all went at different times. But when these school shootings would happen, I was always so happy I would have some of them at home. So it was huge. I remember 2008. I remember this time. I can't believe she took on this topic the way she did. The ending is beyond. And if you have read this book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you to 3 Dog Mom, to Eileen Slater for recommending this book to me. I loved every minute of it. And let me tell you, it is 455 pages. This is not a little book. What I kept thinking while I was reading this book was she dove into these characters. I felt like, I can't even say, how you usually say, oh, you experience the characters as if you knew them, as if you were there. I really felt like I was in this book. I felt like every part of it, she took me inside of each one of her characters. Considering that the main character is a teenage girl, I felt like I'm 56. I felt like a teenage girl again. I felt like I was there. Did you feel that way? Tell me if I'm crazy. I felt that way. I had a serious boyfriend in high school. She took me back, that it was almost like, whoo, like I'm there, like I'm experiencing it again. It was crazy. Let me set up the story just a little bit for you. I'm so happy I'm done. Like I can say I did it, and then a part of me did not want it to end at all. We're talking about a small town, Sterling, New Hampshire. We got Josie Cormier, main character. And the only reason I know how to say that name is because I had a boss named Cormier, and that's how you say it. I don't know if that's how you heard it, but that's how she said it. Then we've got Peter, one of her friends who she knew. I grew up in a small town. You know these people your whole life, all the way through school. It isn't just about knowing them from afar. It's like you know them, you know their life story, even if you are not best friends with them. It doesn't matter. That's how her relationship with Peter was. Then we have Alex, who's her mom, and Matt, who is her boyfriend, who is her very serious boyfriend. Another thing that I love about Jodi's books are her topics, her research. This one, I know she had to do a lot of research for the legal aspect, but this book is relationship heavy. We have friendships because we have Josie and Peter's friendship, and then we have Peter, who's been bullied, and how he's dealt with his friends and then kids who were not his friends. We have bullying. We've got mother-daughter relationship, which I always love because I'm a mother and a daughter, and I have daughters. Girlfriend, boyfriends, dating, violence, and then the legal system. And I'm sure I could, if I sat down, I could write 5 more topics that I can find in this story, because that's how she does it. They're so complicated. You're reading a 455-page book and you're never bored. You're never at a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I just want this book to end. I did not ever feel that way. Every chapter, I'm like, one more chapter, even if I just got done reading a really long chapter. Let's talk about the the premise. So it's a school shooting. Peter is the shooter. He's been bullied his entire life. For those of us who have been bullied, and I think all of us were bullied to some extent, I really do. I think that none of us can walk away from school and say, oh, I was never bullied. I think even the really popular kids were bullied. I think that as we've grown older and gone to class reunions and have found out what your perception of them in high school was, what reality was, or you're like, oh my God, they struggled too. They not only struggled, they had family struggles. I thought that my family was the crazy family. And then you find out everybody thought their family was the crazy family. And I also was at a class reunion. It was like our 25th or something. And a kid that bullied me actually apologized, which I was just blown away. I was like, he apologized, and then he said, did you feel bullied? And I was like, yes, I did. So even after all those years, 25 years later, you're still right there. It still affected you. I think it really does. And what I loved about how she dealt with Peter as the shooter was not, we have to feel so much empathy for him. We have to go all in on feeling bad for him. She didn't make me feel that way. She kind of brought in both aspects. Like, yes, he was bullied, and you want to say, how do I say this? Of course, he ended up shooting these people. They tortured him. And then you go to, is that how you handle it? Luckily, bullying right now, I mean, we're in pandemic. I don't even know what it's like right now because I don't have kids in school. I only have a son who I'm homeschooling, and he's 17. I'm going to give you two of my favorite quotes. I keep rambling on and on. I told you I had so much to say, and then I'm like, make a short video, and then I can see that it's not. Here are the two quotes up on your screen. Happiness is what you choose to remember. I love that. Especially as you get older, you can choose what you want to remember, and you can make it happy. And I have done that with a lot of things. And then the next one, lie to yourself until it's true. Oh my God. I love that. There were so many quotes when I went back and checked this book out because it has been so long. I checked it out and I was like, wow, there were so many quotes to go through. So I picked those two because actually they're just short. In the very beginning of this book, one of my favorite parts is when she explains, I think it's the first chapter, when she explains what happens in 19 minutes. What you can do. And I thought, oh my God, I can get emotional talking about how brilliant of a writer she is. What do you have to say? Did I hit it all? Did I miss anything? Tell me if I missed anything. I want to hear your opinion of my review. That's what I love to do, is discuss this stuff and have somebody to talk about it. Because you know what? As I'm walking around my house, reading, listening to books, nobody cares. I ask questions, I tell them things, and they don't care. I'm like, I'm reading a book about a school shooting. They're like, so what? You like talking about it with me. And that makes me so, so happy. Please keep commenting and let's continue the conversation. Small Great Things is happening today. So happy about it. We're just going to go through this together, right? Are we just going to go through all of her books together? That's going to be so much fun. I love doing that, and I never get the opportunity to. So thank you so much for being on this ride with me. It warms my heart, and I love having these discussions with all of you who comment below and who find me on Instagram. Thank you so much. I talk too much. I talk too long already. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like if you liked it. Subscribe if you have not already. Can't wait for the next one. Until my next video.